Okay, got a glorious day in the Highlands, and look, a new location as well. I only just found this one, and as you can see, hopefully the head cam will pull this out. This place is stunning. Should be some nice flying around here as well. And I've got a brand new drone to fly. This is the XMRC, and this is the M8, so mate drone. I actually really like it. It's different, a little bit different to the other ones I've had before, and I'm just going to give it a go, to be honest. It brushless motors on it. It's a HD cam on it, sorry, not a 4K. Everything seems to be putting 4K on, and then you look at the footage, you think, well, there's no difference between that and HD. So if this is a good HD, it'll probably beat a lot of the ordinary 4K ones, but that's just my opinion. You've got a different transmitter with it as well, and I'll run through all the controls as I usually do as we go through it. It's clearly marked on how to get it all ready to assemble. It comes with your instructions, which are really good. They're in Chinese and English. They seem to run through everything pretty well. We've got spare props in here as well, and also a prop removal tool as well, which is a nice little touch on this, especially with brushless motors as well. You simply just hold this into a position here. Let me get just sort of there, and then the props are marked. I don't suppose the camera will pick it up because the light is quite vicious today, so you can undo them that way or tighten them up that way, sort of thing. So yeah, a really nice little touch there. It's battery on it as well is you press it and hold it. I don't think the camera will pick that up, but it's showing how much charge we got. I did just quickly charge this up before I come out, and it was on full charge, so you get these flashing up. To start it up, you press it once and hold it again, which is quite common these days. You've got the grandkids call these floppy dog ears props, and I think that's a pretty good description of them. It tells you which arm to pull out first of all. If you try and pull out the wrong arm, you can't pull the other arm out, basically. So it's the back ones come first of all, and it's really stiff to do, actually. They sort of lock in position. There's no lock in pressure release thing on it. You just simply fold them back and forwards, but they are quite stiff, actually, which it sort of has benefits. And then the other thing is they won't get out the way if you hit something, but they're certainly not going to flop in while you're in flight as well. When we open it right out, we actually get a really nice big drone, and it just somehow reminds me of a stormtrooper. I don't know why, probably because it's just white, and it's got a couple of grey bits on it, but it's got a nice sort of different look to it. That's why I sort of asked to review it, to be honest. I thought it looked pretty cool. The battery itself, you press this button here to remove it, and it charges up via a micro USB there, and you get the cable for that as well. It did take quite a while to charge up, but it is quite a reasonable sized battery. We've got 3000 milliamp hour, and it's a 2-cell as well, and it's the higher voltage one, so it's 7.6, so we've got 3.8 per cell instead of the 3.7. It's going to start snowing, isn't it? The only reason I found this location was my normal locations are over in the next glen, and it was absolutely chucking it down there. So I thought, oh no, I'll come up here. This is a really nice place. I might change my mind in a minute. We might be reviewing this somewhere else. So that clicks into position, and you've got the on-off switch, so you can leave it in all the time. The camera is tiltable, and we've actually got control on the transmitter as well for that. Takes a micro SD card in there. They say class 10 or above, which is pretty standard these days. I've tried it at home quickly just to make sure the video works, and it's 64 gig, and it worked fine, so that's fine. And we'll see what the quality is like. I usually run that out of the summary at the end if you know the channel at all. Got the transmitter, and again, I just quite like the look of it. That's why I thought I'd just go for it, because all the drones seem to be coming out looking very similar. This one's sort of got a different bit of style to it. The transmitter, you slide these out, and then you put your mobile phone up into there. We've got our on-off switch here, and also this charges using the micro USB as well, exactly the same cable. And we've got LEDs here showing you how much power you've got. LCD screen will come live when we pump it up, and we've got the videos and stills here. It uses Wi-Fi, so you do need a phone, and I'm pretty sure it's a 5G. I can't believe it won't be, because everything seems to be 5G these days. But there is a link. I'll remember to try and put it in for you guys, so you can just check out whether your phone is compatible with 5G or not. We'll move the camera angle up and down with these two here, and I'll run through the controls when we actually get up and fly. We've got auto takeoff, and we've got a return to home button, and we can also turn off the GPS. Now I really like that, because if you're in a situation where you can't use GPS in between tight buildings, in a thick forest, or even indoors, it's nice to have the ability of turning it off. If not, it's constantly hunting for it. And we've got our speed changes here. And happily, for a real change as well, especially, I don't imagine this one's going to be too expensive. There is actually a cable running up through here. The camera definitely won't be able to pick it out, but there is a cable running up through there. So the actual antennas are antennas. They're not just a little bit of plastic that flops in and out. The other thing it's got is you can sit it down like you can see here. So you've got the front and the rear just sitting, but it is a bit wobbly. It does have an extra couple of landing legs that plop out, and again, nice sort of click into position, and then it will sit nice and level. It really doesn't move around, so that's really cool. With this one, it recommends you turn on the drone first of all. So again, quick press and then hold it. The LEDs gradually count up, and then you hear it beep, and off we go. And then we turn on the transmitter, which press the button on. We get a beep beep, and we've got here we're measuring whether it's the transmitter batteries or the actual drone itself, so we know it's actually connected and we're ready to go basically. I'm going to calibrate the compass and everything on it, but just show you the LEDs, which are really quite cool, especially now it's getting really dark here. We've got green LEDs at the back and these nice really bright blue ones at the front, which actually look quite smart, I think. To calibrate it, it's down and left with this one and up and right with that one. And then we don't actually get a beep or anything, it's just literally flashing really fast. So this one recommends that you actually do turns like this, which is kind of a weird way of doing it. Oh, there you go, and it worked though. And then you point it down. Most drones you just hold in your hand and you rotate round. This one, they recommend that you do this full thing, and there we go. Oh well, all the LEDs are stopped. Like I say, first flight out, guys, so be a bit gentle with me. And so that calibrates the compass. If you want to calibrate the gyro on it, put it on somewhere level, and then up and left with the left hand stick and down and right with the right hand stick. So just like that, you get a beep, and then it starts flashing, and then that means that's calibrated the gyro. Like I say, I had a quick play with this at home, so it's probably already gone on to the Wi-Fi settings, but if it hasn't, just simply go into your Wi-Fi settings, and then it comes up with GPS 4K. Basically this one, there is definitely no Wi-Fi signals out here. This doesn't use up any of your data, and you don't have to be near any other signals either, obviously, as you can tell. Going to come back to the home screen, and the actual app we're going to use is VS GPS. And then it's got all our instructions down here, and they're actually pretty good. It sort of runs through everything, but it's in Chinese and English, which I don't tend to like, but yeah, it's just the way they've done it. And then if we actually want to launch the app, we simply press this one here. And there we are, we're live. Actually, the camera looks pretty good. It's going to be challenging lighting conditions because we've got beautiful light over there with mountains and everything. And then we've got this very dark area here where it's actually starting to snow quite heavy. I'm going to start the video. And then it starts to count up there, as you can clearly see. Now you can prime the motors down and out. We'll actually prime them. And I'm just going to take off that way and just see how we get on. Literally first flight, as I say. Oh, nice and quiet. Wow. Actually, I stopped ascending when I was only probably half a metre up, but it obviously goes up a couple of metres or 3 metres before it actually stopped. That is so silky smooth. That looks really nice. Whoa, yeah, it's actually, whoops, sort of flyable on the FPV as well. It's really nice. Very nice indeed. Right, if you're really new to flying, I'm not sure this would be a very good start one, but I can see it not being too much of a problem. The descent is really slow on it, by the way. So, just to run through the controls, if we want it to go up, we simply give this one here. There's the throttle, it will ascend, and it's quite rapid actually. Once to descend, just pull this one down, and it will come down nice, relatively slowly. If you want it to rotate round to the left, that's called yawing. You press it to the left, and it's a really nice smooth yaw on it that actually gets a little bit of a move on. And we're still in low rate, so it's really cool. And then it goes to the right as well. If you want it to go forward, you push this one, it will go forward. And come backwards. Pitch it backwards. And if you want it to roll to the right, you can roll to the right and roll to the left. And then flying is a combination of all those things. So we're going to go forward, we're going to ascend, we're going to roll, and we're going to yaw as well. Cool. Gee whiz, this is a nice little drone. I like it already. Yeah, very nice. And you can see the flashing red LED there as well. I think that the actual video is working, I'm hoping. Yep, it's definitely pulsing away there, so it's cool. Let's just try the rates. So that's low rates. Ooh, intermediate. I'm not sure if it has 2 or 3 rates. That isn't a bad old rate, actually. Having never flown it before, I wasn't too sure where the stacks were. So, oh no, it's only got 2 rates. That's why. That's why I thought intermediate rates were pretty cool. That is, I like it. I like it. I'm going to come up here, easily pleased. Get out of it in the Scottish Highlands. Why wouldn't you be easily pleased? Nice. Okay, so a bit of a range test. Where are we going to go? I've not flown here before, so a little bit nervous about losing it, but we'll give it a go. And I tend not to go too many million miles away. Oh, we're already dropped. Hey, we dropped signal there straight away. Oh, that was, well, that's not very far. There's a road there that came up. We're 100 meters away. And bear in mind, these things are to do with what sort of protection you've got on your phone. I've got a phone protector there so it doesn't get damaged. 200 meters there. Oh, we're still running on the FPV, so that's really cool. Also, you know, what phone you're using, depending on how good it is. And also you could use a Wi-Fi booster if you wanted to. I never bother. It really doesn't interest me that much. Crikey. I can still see that. It's it's heading out towards those mountains. They're a heck of a long way away. But we're just coming up on 500 meters there. And I've had enough there, so I'm just going to bring it back. So 500 meters, and back it comes. And like I say, I can still see it wouldn't even be a pixel in the sky on the head cam, but that thing is still up there. So I'm going to see how quickly it comes back on. And then I'll do a quick return to home as well, but I'm going to be interested. So we're back 300 meters. And we're back now to 200 meters. So, oh, perhaps it's one of those ones that doesn't reconnect automatically. Be a shame. Oh, no, it's reconnected. There we go. At about 100 meters, I suppose. So, with my phone, which I think is a Samsung A5 2017 or something or other, with a protective case around it and rammed in here, I did about 100 meters, I would say, confidently. Not really, you know, too worried about that sort of range. For me, it didn't really cut it, to be honest. I'm just going to try a quick return to home. So I've just popped it over there and press that. She's ascending automatically and getting a beep beep off the transmitter. And actually, while she's coming in, I'm going to start tilting. Whoa, that comes back pretty quick. I'm going to tilt the camera down. Now, I'd say this every single review I do, you know, most people want it. Oh, wow, it's even turned to the orientation. It came backwards, basically, and it's turned into the orientation that I actually found it in. That is pretty impressive. Now, people want it to land on their sort of thing, that's fine. All I'm interested in is the fact that it comes within range that I can take control of it. I know I say it every review, but if this is the first review you've looked at, that's all I'm worried about. And actually, if I brought that, carried on just bringing that down, it's pretty damn close. What? Not even half a meter away. No, that is really good. Well done. And I like the tilt. The control on the camera is really nice. Just really silky smooth as well. I'm seeing a little bit of jello there, but that's, you know, sometimes on these sort of fixed ones it can well be like that. Okay, so if you're new to flying and perhaps you've heard about headless mode or you fancy having a go in headless mode, I'll just show you what that is. So we've got headless mode here, so press this. I'm going to get constant beeping, I think. So now the drone is facing that way and forward is obviously that way. But because I'm now in headless mode, if I turn the drone even at 90 degrees or whatever angle I want to, if I press forward, forward is still forward from my position here. So I suggest if you're flying in headless mode, you do not turn around like that, because now forward is that way. So it gets a bit confusing. And it doesn't matter what angle the drone is at, or what way it's facing, or forwards, it's always forward away. So I've got that one going like that. So I can literally do rotations and go directly away from me. I have no idea why you'd want to use that, but that's just the way it is. And that's fine to me in headless mode until you go behind you, and then you've either got to keep facing that way or now everything's reversed. So if I press forward and turn the drone in any direction, forward is now towards me, which it gets really confusing. Some of the sort of top models, when you turn around like this or turn to a different angle, headless mode then takes on that parameter of going that way, not at this level. I'm going to turn that off. Now, you're supposed to be able to turn off the GPS, so I'll be interested to see how that works. So you hold this here for 2 or 3 seconds. There we go. Now the GPS is off. Now she's starting to drift. I'm not touching anything here, and she's already on a drift. Now this will give you a really nice, smooth video, but I'm definitely seeing jello there, which is a real shame. But we usually have fixes for jellos on the channel, and it usually involves elastic bands or a bit of foam we have been known to use. That makes really smooth footage. That is lovely. Mind you, it's a very smooth GPS, but when it's on locked on GPS, but I do like flying non-GPS, and I like the ability that you can fly non-GPS. Now you won't have a return to home function because obviously you've just turned off the GPS, but all you have to do is turn it back on again. That is really nice. That's good, and the FPV is really good. Like it. So that's just going to keep drifting, as you can see, so it gives you a nice gentle footage. Let me put the GPS back on. There we go. Whoop, and you can see the camera angle tilted, and then it's just held position. So now if I do the same thing, it's going to have to, I've got no drift on it, so I'm going to have to tilt the angle because it's actually tilting the drone. We could sort this out in post if we needed to. But it's just, yeah, I just find non-GPS quite handy at times. It does get a bit of a move on as well. Oh, I tell you what, mind you, I haven't flown much this year at all, as you probably know with the channel, but if we could pop this into Acro, it's actually really good fun. Now that would be the next stage, wouldn't it? Do that with it. Okay, so we've got different rates. We've sort of run through everything on here. I think we've done the return to home as well. So I'm going to bring it back in. Perhaps we can get a go with the actual, oh, let me take us still first of all, sorry. Waffling and changing my mind as we go. That's not like Tigger at all, is it? There we go. So I'm just going to take a still. It's not going to be great, to be perfectly honest. The lighting is appalling for taking videos and things. So there we go. And then I'm going to bring it back in, and I'm just going to show you. I don't think that's an auto land. I think that's just purely a takeoff. No, it's an auto land as well, but it only shows a takeoff position. So to cancel that, just give it a bit of throttle and it'll cancel it. That's actually quite cool. It also has an, no, it doesn't have optical flow in it, that's right. It's got the position for it, but it's not actually there. So I'm just going to actually hand catch that. Now the motors will cut when it realises it can't descend anymore. So it's basically the same as just touching the ground. Let me just double check. Yeah, because I've looked at a few drones lately. No, it's just got a fake there that they might well put an optical flow system on it. But actually with that GPS and the way this flies, I'm quite happy with that. That doesn't bother me at all in the slightest. So you could hand launch as well. So we can hold it in our hand and just simply press this. But what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to turn it off. And I'm going to turn off the transmitter, and I'm actually going to fly it on the app, see how we get on with that. Okay, to turn on the app, to turn on the controls for the app, we simply press this one here. We do have settings here. If you're a novice, you can cut the distance down and the height, so you can keep it nice and close to you if you want to. We've got lots of functions in here. I'm not too sure I'm going to have enough battery to do them all, and also it'd be nice to go to another location as well. We can calibrate the gyro and the compass here as well, so exactly the same as what we did before, but there's no need to because we haven't actually changed position. Okay, I'm going to see if I can hand launch it, which I think you have to unlock the motors. So let's press that one, and then we just hand launch there. There we go. So all I did was press the takeoff, and it's just up and away. That's nice. And literally, I haven't flown this at all, so it'd be interesting to see. Ooh, that's not as smooth as the actual transmitter, first of all. Slightly jerky movement there when it took off. I'm being really fussy here. I mean, most people would never even spot it, I'm sure. That's nice. Nice little fly, really nice. And precise as well. Oh, let me put the video back on. It's so quiet as well. Brushless tend to be, but this one does seem extremely quiet. I'm just going to do a gentle rotate. That's nice. I think it might just be that my hands were really cold, and that's why it was a little bit jerky. I'm not finding it as smooth as the actual transmitter, I must admit. So that, yeah, I'm just saying it as it is, sort of thing. Okay, we've got lots of toys here as well. We can do a follow me, I think it is. So let me just do that. Oh, it's not after me yet. There we go. Oh, it is coming around to try and find me. Yeah, it is following me. So let me. Oh, I can't remember how you point the camera angle down. Sorry, that's really bad of me, isn't it? There's so many functions on this thing. There is a way of pointing the camera down. I'm sure there is. Oh well. So basically, as I'm walking towards it, it's trying to keep the same distance away from me. You can see it's really struggling with me and getting a bit peed off with me, I think. That's good. And then as I come back, it will follow me. So I'm not in shot because I didn't set it in shot. Oh, if only I could remember how to make it go up and down. Not going to happen. So take that one off. You've got the VR stuff and everything, so if you're going to use VR goggles and that, then yeah, I suppose you could actually, because it's actually pretty cool. You've got an orbit here, and you can choose how far out from your center spot you want to be. So actually, I'll just cancel that. I'll just bring it over my head. There we go. And then we got orbit here. So let's put it at. Oh, there we go. 10 meters, done. Confirm. There we go. Wow, that gets a bit of a shift on. And there we go, it's going to orbit around here. It's been a bit nervous because, like I say, I'm not familiar with this location, so might well have be hitting stacks and trees that I'm not familiar with. So yeah, that seems to do a pretty good job. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Nice. I don't know if you can slow it down, make it go the other way. No. Sometimes you can. Sometimes you make it go further. I've been a wuss here. Come on, keep it down. Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, I think I set it slightly off from where I was actually. And just press that to cancel it. Cancel. Oops. Okay. Oh, that's interesting, it's not letting me cancel it. Oh, perhaps we just put another function on there. No, it's still not letting me cancel it, so that's not so good really, is it? Oh, the app has stopped as well. Open again. Oops. Whoa, look at that. Yeah. It still thinks it's getting a control to do that as well, so a little bit nervous on that one. But it has stayed doing that orbit pretty well. So how the heck do you cancel this thing? Come on guys, shout at your screens. I honestly can't see how I'm supposed to do that. No, that's memory ones. Oops. Well, the thing is, it's not really got fed up with filming me for some unknown reason. Yeah, I really can't cancel that. What I'm going to have to do is just ask it to return to home, I think. Yep, there we go. Oh, perhaps that's the way to cancel it. There we go. Now cancel. That's it. Oh well, there we go. Perhaps that's a cancel thing. You just hit return to home or hit one of the other buttons. It didn't seem to work a minute ago, but I'm going to see if I can just flick that on and whether or not it'll work. What's the worst that could happen? Ha! It does. That's cool. And obviously you can fly it without the app if you wanted to, because you can control your footage and everything on here as well, which is really good. So I'm going to try and slot that back in there. Really good flight time as well. I don't think I'll be coming out for another flight with it, to be honest, because I think I've sort of covered everything I would need to cover in a review with it. Just might see whether or not it will come back to base to home when the battery gets low. Now the thing with that, I've tried it before, if you're this close, sometimes it assumes you're this close, so it doesn't bother trying to do a return to home. So I might just run it out a wee bit, but I really don't want to lose it because it's a really nice little drone. I'm definitely struggling on the app, but I think that's because the phone's been shut down. Oh, there we go. I've not touched anything on that, and it's ascending, and it's going to pop back home, I think, because the battery's low. I did hear a tiny little beep 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 when it went. So I don't know if you'll be able to see this. We've got flashing LEDs on the blue now, warning us that the battery is low, and the greens are just staying solid, sort of thing. So we are just about ready to drop it out of the sky, I think. But that's been really good. I'm going to stop the video as here. And then I'm just going to pull this the throttle off and just literally catch it. And like I say, just keep the throttle off. When it realises it's not descending anymore, it will stop. If you're new to flying, I suggest you don't hand catch and hand launch, because these things will really sting like mad. They'll flop out the way a little bit, but then the next one will come around and hit you, so just be careful. I just didn't want to land it on snow, because what it will do is just blow the snow around and come up into the motors. To be perfectly honest, I'm really impressed with that. Don't forget, I've mucked about with this, so I've taken it off transmitter, had the phone on and off as well, and then crashed the app a couple of times. It is brand new, so the apps they will develop before the video goes out. There's probably do an update on it and everything. Range was awesome at 500 meters. You could probably fly it further. I just don't really enjoy flying like that. It's just not my thing. And I think 500 meters is fine. I could still see it, so we were legal that we were visual. A couple of functions didn't work on the app when I was here, but again, that can be a phone issue. I've never ever been bothered about using the waypoints one. Certainly not my idea of fun. I like flying. That's the whole idea of doing it. And I think the app is pretty good, actually. You seem to fly all right. To be honest, you got the transmitter, you got it all in a box. I really wouldn't bother flying on the app, and I would just use the transmitter and just use the app for doing orbits and stuff like that. So that's my opinion. I really like that. I'm well impressed with it. Something nice and different. I'll see what the prices are like and see if I can find any codes or anything for you. Obviously save you a few bob as well. But as just a nice little drone that flies and does exactly what it's supposed to do, and is exactly what it says on the box, I'm very happy. So hope you've enjoyed the review and another new location in the Highlands of Scotland, and I'll see you on the next one.